4 decades later, it's still the scandal against which all others are measured. The only one so profound and lasting it unleashed a constitutional crisis that brought down a president. Before there was Monica-gate,
I did not have sexual relations with that woman,
or Troopergate, or all the other gates, there was Watergate, the break-in at Democratic offices.
Real progress has been made in finding the truth.
And the subsequent cover-up by Richard Nixon and top aides that took its name from the complex where it started. It was here, early on the morning of June 17, 1972, that 5 men working for Nixon's re-election committee were caught red-handed in Democratic headquarters, looking for, well, to this day, no one really can say exactly.
To me, it always appeared it was a fishing expedition. They were looking for financial information about Larry O'Brien, who was then the chairman of the Democratic National Committee.
John Dean remembers an early meeting on the bugging and drawer rifling idea and still shakes his head.
The insanity of it and the stupidity of it has never ceased to amaze me. I was one of those who tried to throw cold water on Gordon Liddy's plans to break in, and thought I had done so.
Ah, yes, those colorful Watergate characters. Liddy, the steely ex-FBI man who hired the others, Attorney General and re-election Chief John Mitchell, who approved it all, Nixon's palace guard of Bob Haldeman and John Ehrlichman, who ran the cover-up.
I can't put myself in the president's mind.
And Dean, who broke ranks to testify about warning Nixon a cancer was growing on his presidency.
I can only speak what I know to be the facts, and that's what I'm providing this committee.
That cover-up plus a year-long war with lawmakers and the Supreme Court turned what Nixon called a third-rate burglary into a history-making standoff. Ultimately, he was caught on tape, his own Oval Office bugging system, approving hush money and urging that the CIA thwart investigators.
Well, they could be all the rest, and they have to be made. That's all the rest of that.
The system worked, but the system would not have worked had not the president taped himself.
Stanley Cutler is Watergate's leading scholar, a retired history professor who sued to make thousands of hours of those tapes public.
And after 35, 40 years of teaching American constitutional legal history, I think that Watergate is the severest constitutional challenge this country had since the Civil War.
And the tip of an iceberg of criminality, of enemies lists and wiretapping reporters and election campaign dirty tricks.
The break-in, it merely parts the veil on what Nixon's own Attorney General called the White House horrors.
And it altered the political landscape, giving the language terms like stonewalling and limited hangout, and making heroes of young Washington Post reporters who kept trying to follow the money. So, what's it like today, the residential and office complex where the burglars struck? Come, let's take a look.
This is the corner of the space it was broken into.
Parts of what once were Democratic offices are now back on the rental market. Others house a doctor's office and Iraq's military attaché. The Watergate Hotel where the burglars stayed is closed for renovation. And the hotel across the street where a lookout kept watch is a college dorm. Odd shrines for a scandal that sent 43 people to indictment, trial, and in many cases jail. But in the end, Watergate is really the story of America's 37th president.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
And he was playing me on, it's clear now. He knew much of what I was telling him.
When all the journalists, all the president's men, and even the president's enemies fade into the mists of history, we have Richard Nixon left.
No, Nixon didn't order the break-in, but his paranoia drove its planners, and its cover-up was his doom. Mark Smith, The Associated Press, Washington.